lesson today is one that typically kind of strikes fear into our heart, all right? But honestly, I love this lesson. I love writing equations. I love writing expressions. And I promise you, we are going to get very, very good at this throughout the year, okay? Now, first of all, let's read the directions, or the title. It says, Writing Expressions and Equations, all right? Expressions and equations. An expression and an equation is basically saying what we're needing to do. We need to take this, and right now this looks like English, right? I need to make it look like math, all right? I need to take this sentence and translate it into an algebraic expression. So take what's English and make it look like math. Now there's one difference between an expression and an equation. Look at the word equation. Can you kind of see the word equal in equation? All right, can you kind of see the word equal? An equation has an equal sign. That's the only difference between an equation and an expression. Now this first part says, write each phrase as an algebraic expression. So, if I write an expression, am I going to have an equal sign? No, I'm not. Okay? There will not be any equal signs in this first part. Now, let's talk about a couple of these words. First of all, product. Does anybody know what product means? Product? Cut.
The answer to a multiplication problem.
Very good. The answer to a multiplication problem. Okay? How about quotient? What does quotient mean?
Answer to the division problem.
Very good. The answer to a division problem. How about sum? What does sum mean? Kenton?
Answer
Answer to
to addition problem.
an addition problem. And difference? Difference is what, Colin?
The answer to a subtraction.
The answer to a subtraction problem. So product means multiply, quotient means divide, sum means plus, and difference means minus. Okay? Now, the whole key to writing these is to pick up key words. Alright? Right here it says the product of. First of all, product means what? Cheyenne, what does product mean? Okay. And for right now, I know you guys all gave me awesome textbook definitions. Product is the answer to a multiplication. Quotient is the answer to a division. For right now, just think of, to help us out with the verbiage in this room, when I say product, you just say times. Okay? If I say quotient, it just means divide. Alright? Sum just means add. Difference just means subtract. So, when the product of, what does product mean, Cheyenne? Times. Very good. Now, you see this word of. When you see the product of, the next word that you have to look for is and. Alright? Anytime you see the word of, look for the word and. And is going to get our sign. Okay? And is going to get our sign. So, Cheyenne, one more time. What did you say product means? Times. We're going to put our multiply sign right on the word and. Okay? So, if you can figure that out, then all of a sudden this is easy. Okay? Now, let me kind of instruct you how I want you to. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say, Janae, I want you to tell me what to write. Okay? And I'll read this, and I will say -5, and you will say -5. Good. When I read -5, I should write -5. When I read and, I should write multiplication. And when I read x, I should write x. Fantastic. So, if you just read this, the product of, with the multiply on the and, -5 and x. Okay? How about number 2? Everybody write this on your whiteboards. Okay? Let's just see what you got. I'm going to read this to you. You write what I read. Okay? 20. Increased by K. Janice, what should I write when I read 20? 20. Increased by? Justin. Plus. Increased by means plus. And K. What should I write when I write K? What should I write when I read K? Nathan, what should I write when I read K? Okay, Nathan, let's go. K. Very good. So we've got 20 increased by K. Let's look at number 3. Everybody write down what I read. Okay? 5 inches. Now, when you're writing expressions, don't label. Okay? Don't label anything today. So 5 inches, write that down. Just 5. More than, what sign is that going to be? More than the height. Let's talk about this because it gets a little confusing at the end. Linda, what should I write? 5 inches? More than plus the height. Now, here's the thing. Linda, do you have any idea what I should write for the height? Very, very good. I should write H. If I don't know what the height is, I'm just going to come up with a variable. Now, you could use X, you could use Y, you could use Z, you could use A, you could use B, you could use C. Linda, why did you use H? Because it's the first letter of the word, okay? So H is a great variable to use for height. Would it be wrong if Linda said X? Nope, it would not be wrong. Could you use A? You could use that. But H kind of makes sense because there's height, okay? So now, everybody stay with me here because I'm going to show you one more thing. Let's read it again and see how simple this is to write. 5 inches more than the height. Next key word. All right? There's going to be 4 sets of key words here. When you see of, you have to look for and that's where your sign's going. Okay? Next key word. Than. Alright? When you see the word than, you have to flip it. Alright? When you see the word than, you have to flip it. So instead of 5 plus H, this should be H plus 5. Okay? H plus 5. And I will tell you that you will look like a rock star if you can just remember that word. Alright? You'll be a math rock star. Alright? If you can remember that than means to flip it. Let's look at 14. 1/4 of Y. Here's what I'm going to challenge you to do. Just write down what you read. 1/4 of Y. Just write down what you should. Just write down what you think. 1/4 of Y. Okay. Now, here's the thing. 1/4 should be easy, right? Ileana, what should I write for 1/4?
Fraction.
Okay? A fraction, 1/4. What should I write for Y?
Y.
Y. Okay, now, as I read those words, doesn't it feel like there should be another word in there? Like, what kind of sign should I use? It should be like 1/4 plus Y, or 1/4 decreased by Y, or 1/4 greater than Y, or something like that. But it seems like they just took these two things and smashed them together. Okay? Does anybody remember what I said you do in algebra when two things are smashed together? Zara.
Multiply.
Multiply. Very good. You multiply. Because remember, if I have 7A, they're smashed together. That means 7 times A. 1/4 of Y, that's smashed together. That just means 1/4 times Y. 1/4 times y. Okay, let's look at number 5. Write down what I read. Bill's weight. I don't know Bill's weight, so I should just write a variable. Maybe B, maybe W. So Bill's weight decreased by 18. Kyle, tell me what to write. Bill's weight
W
decreased by
minus
18.
18.
18. Perfect. W minus 18. All right. Number 6. Write this. The quotient of. The quotient of. Carl, what did I say? What word did I say we should look for when you see of? It's, well, it was kind of there, but when we see one of those words, product, quotient, sum, difference, when it says the sum of, what's the next word that I should look for? And, okay? Look for and, that's where the sign's going to go, okay? The quotient of 3 and a number. The quotient of 3 and a number. Trevor, quotient means divide. The quotient of, where does my divide sign go? On what word? On what word up here? And, very good. So I'm going to divide right there. So, just tell me what to write here, Trevor. 3.
3 divided by n.
3 divided by n. The quotient of 3 and a number. Look at these. Now these are enough to make you scared. Except we don't need to be. Alright? Write down what I read. 5 less than 4 times as many women. One more thing. Go back and check something. There's one more thing on there. Skylar, tell me what to write. 5 less than
Minus
4
4
times
times
as many women.
W.
W. Okay? Now, this is what you should have written, and it needs to be like this, okay? You can't write this up and down. It won't work like that. It's gotta be written like this, right? So if you're looking and yours isn't looking like this, now I said one more thing. What was that one word in here, Teresa? Than, okay? Than means flip it. Now, everybody watch how I do this. I need to flip what's before and what's after the minus sign. So, this is 4W minus 5. Okay, everybody see how I flipped the whole thing? 4W minus 5. Everybody try number 8 on your own. Okay, number 8, Cheyenne. Tell me what to write. 60. More than. The rent payment. R. Okay? Now, I saw a couple people write RP. Don't do that. That means R times P. Rent payment is all one thing. 60 plus R. Adam. One more thing in here. The word than means flip it. So instead of 60 plus R, our best answer is R plus 60. R plus 60. Now, next part says, write each sentence as an algebraic equation. This time we're in equation, so what is going to be new about this part?
You have to have an equal sign.
We have to have an equal sign. Now, I'll make this real simple. There's one word that means equals. Is. Is means equals. Okay, so this is the exact same thing that we just did. I'll read it, you write it, and remember that is means equals. So number 11, 5. Everybody should be writing this. Times the number of books is 95. Janelle, tell me what to write. 5
5
times
times
the number of books
n
is
equal
95.
95.
Perfect. 5 times n equals 95. Number 12. The difference of. Difference of. Find the and. The difference of 9 and a number is 9. Calvin, tell me what to write. What does difference of mean? Not division. Subtraction. Good. Subtraction. It's going to be on my and. Okay, so the difference of, I've got that. Tell me what? 9 and a number is 9. Perfect. 9 minus n equals 9. What's that number going to be? Colin? 0. Kind of like our additive identity property, right? Okay. Woo!
Whoa.
Number 13. The sum of. Remember, when you see one of these words with the word of, you've got to find your word and. The sum of the average and 4 is -6. Okay. The sum of. Alex, what does sum mean? Adding. The sum of means I'm going to put my addition sign on what word? And. Okay. Tell me what to write. The average. And.
Plus
4
4
is
equals
-6. Perfect. A plus 4 equals -6. Let's do number 15. 12 less a number is 40. 12 less a number is 40. Less a number is 40. Now, let me give you a hint on the I step, all right? For the I step, some of you, well, I'll give you the hint in just a little bit, all right? I'll come back in just a second. I will also tell you, there is a problem like this on the test that gives people fits, okay? Because when we read this, most of the time, you would read this 12 less than a number, right? I mean, how many times do we say 12 less a number, okay? I don't think I've ever said that in my life other than when I'm reading this problem, okay? I would say less than. But this does not say than in it, does it? Okay? And be careful, because on your test, there's one like this, and it doesn't say than either. So, just write what I say. Darlene, 12.
12
Less a number is
equals
40.
40.
Very good. 12 minus n equals 40. Now, some of you guys might say, oh, I know what the answer is. The answer is negative 28. All right? The answer is negative 28. Now, here's the thing. On the I step, there are going to be a lot of questions like this where you have to write the equation, where they will not give you credit if you just know the answer. Okay? You have to be able to write an equation. So, it's very important. As we go through here, don't just think, I've got it, I know the answer. That's great that you know the answer. I'm glad that you know the answer, but you have to be able to write an equation like that. All right? Okay, I think that's all we're going to do today. Here's a comic for you. It says, yes, that's right. The answer is Wisconsin. Another 50 points for God. And, looks like Norman, our current champion, hasn't even scored yet. Man, that would stink. Can you imagine getting your chance to go on a game show, like Jeopardy or something, and having to go against God? Wow. Good luck there. Here's your assignment. Page 131, 1 through 22, 43 through 49, and 53 through 56.